Welcome back to Kicker News. There's a proposed ban on vaping flavors, and here to discuss that with me is Dr. Leslie Phillips. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for asking me to come.
What do you think of the new changes that are coming in regards to vaping?
Well, there are a number of changes that are proposed with respect to novel nicotine products, which includes vaping. And the one that's first and foremost right now is the flavor ban, as you'd asked about. And I am absolutely in favor of a ban on flavors. And the reason for that is because flavors are the primary reason that attract youth and young adults who are not smokers to vaping. And frankly, we have a vaping epidemic among youth and young adults in this country.
What do you think the impact will be of the flavor ban on youths?
Well, flavors are the number one reason why youth pick up vaping, and in particular, fruit flavor and mint flavor. So that's why typically youth start vaping. So about 92% of youth and young adults who vape regularly started with a flavored vape.
What is the federal government proposing?
They are proposing a ban not on all flavors of vaping, but on most flavors. So mint or menthol and tobacco flavor will still be available. All of the other flavors will not. So I think that's significant because flavored vaping, and in particular fruit flavored vapes, are attractive to youth, and they're one of the primary reasons why youth start vaping.
Earlier, we spoke to a manager of a vaping store downtown. Here's what she had to say.
It would lower the safe consumption of nicotine, like as through vapes, it would lower that. But over 90% of our clientele would go back to smoking cigarettes. They would just move to a not so safe version of the nicotine, right? They would move to cigarettes, which has well over 100 different chemicals, as opposed to the vapes, which only have 3 or 4.
So she's saying that people are going to go back to smoking cigarettes. What is your take on that?
Well, I have a couple comments about that. To start with, I mean, the promise of e-cigarettes or vapes was that they would help smokers to quit. And in fact, there is some evidence that electronic cigarettes can help smokers to quit. Unfortunately, in Canada, we really haven't delivered on that promise. So here's what's going on. Over the past number of decades, we've seen a slow and steady decrease in the number of Canadians who smoke tobacco cigarettes. And that amount continues to decline. The sad thing about that is while it's continuing to decline, it is not because current smokers are quitting. So for the past number of decades, we've actually had no real significant change in the number of current smokers who are quitting smoking. The reason for the decline is primarily because there are no new entrants coming into the market. And by that, I mean youth are not picking up smoking.
Do you think that the flavor ban is going to decrease the amount of kids that are vaping?
Yes, I absolutely do. And the reason for that is because flavors are the primary thing that attract youth to vaping. I mean, their fruit flavor in particular is very attractive to youth. If you look at the packaging, it's very bright, it's colorful, the designs are very sleek and techy, which is appealing to youth. They're cheap, they're easy to get, and they're full of nicotine.
What else do you think the federal government could do to help the youths?
Well, there are a number of initiatives, I think, that we can do to help reduce youth exposure to novel nicotine products. And that can be done on a federal level. It can also be done on a provincial level. So there are a number of things that have been proposed. So one is the ban on flavors. There's another thing that's being talked about, which is this generational ban on nicotine products. So what the generational ban will do is it will slowly every year raise the legal age to purchase nicotine products by 1 year, such that we'll have a group of individuals. Let's say we make the ban at 2010. So anyone born after 2010 will never reach a legal age to be able to buy nicotine products. So it doesn't take away nicotine products from individuals that are currently using them. All it does is creates in the future slowly fades out the use of nicotine products by creating this generation that will never legally be able to buy them.
Well, thank you for coming.
It's been my pleasure.
For more news stories, visit kickerscna.ca.